So a draft of a Supreme Court opinion was just leaked, and it shows that the United States Supreme Court is on the verge of revoking the constitutionally protected privacy interests of women. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So first off, I'm going to do my best to keep both my voice and my blood pressure down, and I'm pretty sure I will fail on both fronts, because we've just seen a leaked draft of a Supreme Court opinion that shows the United States Supreme Court is on the verge of revoking the constitutionally protected privacy interests of women by overruling Roe versus Wade. Here's the headline in Politico. Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights, draft opinion shows. And here is some of what the author of that draft opinion, Justice Alito, wrote. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. The Constitution makes no reference to abortion, and no such right is implicitly protected by any constitutional provision. Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. And those words put the lie to Samuel Alito's confirmation hearing testimony, and they put the lie to Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation hearing testimony and others. Now, I'm going to say something, friends, that will probably hit your ear wrong, but please bear with me for a minute. We created this monster. We created this monster by abandoning the rule of law. Now, I know you're saying we. Wait a minute. Who are you putting in that category, we? I didn't vote for any of the Republicans who have been working overtime, trying to deprive women of their constitutional rights, and I certainly didn't vote for any Supreme Court justice. Fair enough. The Republicans have been working night and day nefariously to revoke women's constitutional privacy rights, and they're on the verge of succeeding. And no, you may not have voted for any of those Republican politicians, but you may have voted for some of the Democrats who were in office as the Republicans were fighting to revoke women's constitutional rights. And the Democrats couldn't stop it. Put another way, you can say they allowed it to happen. But I'm going to continue to say we, our elected officials, we created this monster by abandoning the rule of law. Now, I don't want this video to be, nothing but recriminations, right? I want to find ways to pull us up out of this constitutional quicksand, right? Out of this democracy nosedive that we're in. How did we let this happen? Because only if we understand how it happened can we go about fixing it and or preventing it from happening again. Well, we let it happen by allowing Mitch McConnell to violate the Constitution. When President Obama nominated Merrick Garland to the Supreme Court, Mitch McConnell violated the Constitution. The Constitution provides that the Senate shall give advice and consent on a Supreme Court justice nominee. And Mitch McConnell said, I don't care what the Constitution provides. I'm not doing it. No advice and consent, no confirmation hearing, no vote. And we let Mitch McConnell get away with it. We created the monster by abandoning the rule of law. what the Obama administration could have done, no, it wouldn't have been easy, but it would have been right, is to very calmly say, Senator McConnell, we will give you 30 days to set a confirmation hearing and a vote. And if you refuse, we will deem that you have waived the Senate's prerogative to give advice and consent, and I will instruct Merrick Garland to take his rightful place on the Supreme Court. Mitch McConnell would have relented. Or if he didn't, and Merrick Garland took his spot on the Supreme Court, Mitch McConnell would have had to have sprinted into federal court and convinced the judges that he, Mitch McConnell, gets to violate the Constitution. He gets to rewrite the advice and consent clause. He gets to permanently deprive a Supreme Court nominee a hearing and a vote. And he would have lost. He would have lost that case. But the American people would have won. Because the rule of law would have meant something. We created this monster by abandoning the rule of law. Thereafter, what did Mitch McConnell do? After assuring us there could be no confirmation hearing in the last year of a president's term, he turned right around and crammed Amy Coney Barrett down America's throat. We created this monster. We saw Brett Kavanaugh lie throughout his confirmation hearing. We saw him lie blatantly. We saw him lie transparently, acting like a badly behaved juvenile much of the time. And we did nothing. He wasn't investigated and charged with perjury, more precisely, false statements, which he could have been. We did nothing. The FBI collected up 4,500 citizen tips about Brett Kavanaugh's unsuitability to serve on the Supreme Court. And then the FBI just delivered them to the Trump administration, and the Trump administration buried all of what I suspect was deeply derogatory and damaging information about Brett Kavanaugh. We let this happen. We created this monster by abandoning the rule of law. We saw Clarence Thomas violate bedrock ethical principles, right? Abusing his position to protect his insurrectionist wife without repercussions. We've done nothing about it. And friends, you think this monstrous Supreme Court is done revoking our constitutional rights? They're just getting warmed up. The only real question now is, will we keep feeding this monster by continuing to ignore the rule of law? Friends, let me try to end on a positive. The words of President Barack Obama, who issued a statement about all of this. If the Supreme Court ultimately decides to overturn the landmark case of Roe v. Wade, then it will not only reverse nearly 50 years of precedent, it will relegate the most intensely personal decision someone can make to the whims of politicians and ideologues. President Obama also said the court's opinion forces folks to give up any constitutionally recognized interest in what happens to their body once they get pregnant. In other words, the government takes over your decision-making from the moment of conception. And then President Obama goes on to urge Americans not to sit on the sidelines. We're asking you to join with the activists who have been sounding the alarm on this issue for years and act. Stand with them at a local protest. Volunteer with them on a campaign. Join them in urging Congress to codify Roe into law. Friends, we have been feeding the monster for too long by ignoring the rule of law. It's time to starve the monster. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.